Hey, how's it going today, guys? This is Brandon, one half of the Football Frame of Mind podcast. Today, we're going to be going over college football week 6. We're going to be doing a recap over some more prominent games and, man, some games that just didn't go the way that we expected them to go. But before I go any further, man, I just want to shout out Cam. I pray that you guys will just keep him in your prayers. He's got a lot going on right now. And I just pray that y'all just show him some support and some love, man. What he does is keep this channel alive. And when I'm busy and I'm not able to do things, he's able to pick up the slack and do those things as well. So, hey, shout out to you, Cam. You're awesome. And, man, we all appreciate your hard work. We just appreciate you guys for all the constant support y'all have shown. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and, man, hit that bell notification so you never miss a beat with our channel. And, man, shout out to Off the Ball Network for all their constant support and allowing us to use their platform, man. It's a real pleasure to work with them and to be able to reach more fans and put out really cool content along the way. So shout out to them, shout out to you guys, and shout out to Cam. So let's get into this Week 6 recap. So with my apologies. With college football week 6 recap, they had quite a few controversial games that I thought went completely off the grid, and some games that were really interesting as well. But I picked 4 to go over with you guys, and it wouldn't be the Football Frame of Mind podcast if I wouldn't talk about LSU first. All due respect. So LSU goes to Missouri. Missouri at the time is sitting at 5-0. Hasn't lost a game yet, looking really good. And, man, early on in this game, especially even into the second half, Missouri looked like they were going to run away with this game. LSU's defense, and I will continue to speak on this, LSU's secondary is the Achilles heel of this team. Between that and just underachieving from Mason Smith, no push on the line of scrimmage. I'm not seeing any great pass rush from him. I don't see him disrupting anything. Makai Wingo's been really good for them. Weeks in the linebacking core has been good for them, and a couple other guys as well. I just want to shout them out. But, man, this secondary is terrible at defending the pass. Matt House, man, I don't know what you're doing, brother, but it is not working. We had a lot higher expectations going into this year, and I did not expect to see what happened here. But, man, I'm not even going to be negative because, man, let's talk about Jaden Daniels. He put this team on his back and said, you know what, our defense may be struggling, but I'm going to bring us back. And, man, did he have this offense storming back with him running the ball, opening lanes, being able to create plays, getting out of the pocket, scrambling, running for touchdowns, throwing the ball good. Man, he looked really good. And a lot of people aren't considering him in the Heisman race. But I think he's got to be a sleeper, man. What he's been able to do through 6 weeks of this season, man, with a lackluster defense, man, you got to give credit where it's due. They beat an undefeated team in their own house, man. LSU's defense gave up 39, but, man, LSU's offense led by guys like Brian Thomas, like Malik Neighbors, like Mason Taylor, and just like Jaden Daniels, man. Offense became electric, and they put a 49 on Missouri, man, and I'm assuming this is just going to be a reoccurring theme for LSU just going on throughout the season, that our offense is going to have to bail us out more times than not just because the defense is just giving up points. And, I mean, no disrespect to Missouri, but, man, giving up 39 points, like, man, you can't do that. The secondary has to be figured out. But, man, as for right now, man, really good win for LSU. Very good morale boost for sure. Being able to go into Missouri and beat them with them being undefeated definitely helps with the confidence, but, man, it's really got to light a fire under that defense and Matt House to figure out what can they do to fix what is going on. The next big game was the Red River Rivalry. We had Oklahoma at Texas, man. Was a shootout. Like I said, I want to say in my preview, I didn't think this one was going to be a big win margin, but I did not expect Oklahoma to beat Texas. Dylan Gabriel wins the shootout, man. Looks really good. Oklahoma, man, I don't know if I'm completely sold on them. I still think I have more confidence in Texas as a team and what they've had on their resume up to this point. But you can't deny, I mean, Oklahoma's 6-0. If they find some way to show out and win out, they're gonna more than likely be in the playoff. Because that's a quality win over a team that's beat Alabama. That's beat some other good quality teams, man. So, I mean, do I think they're going to win out and stay undefeated? No, not necessarily. But if they win out, Oklahoma will more than likely be in that playoff, depending on the way the Big 12 championship works out. Obviously, if you're Texas, you don't want to lose this game, especially in that kind of fashion, man. 34-30, man, that sucks. But I don't see any way that Texas doesn't shake back, and I think they get their act together, man. I mean, hey, look, it's not a guarantee to be able to go undefeated every year. It's not guaranteed to be able to win that rivalry game every year. So, I mean, look, I think they'll get there. I think Sarkisian will have them boys set up, and I think Quinn Ewers and them will, they'll shake back, man. I think Texas is still in the playoff hunt, and I don't think them losing to Oklahoma is going to hurt them all that much. If I'm moving on to another game, I'm going to show respect to my brother Cam, and we're going to talk about Alabama and Texas A&M. This was a game that we spoke on last time. Didn't think it was going to be a really high-scoring game. It wasn't. And I didn't think it was going to be a big win margin. It wasn't. But A&M hung with Alabama. I told y'all they could hang with them. The talent is there, and, man, they've had their chances. But just like I said before, Jimbo just can't seem to win some of these games, man. You have to be able to win these games. You have to. Especially you're at home, you're at Kyle Field, man. You got to have that home field advantage. And you have it. So, man, you got to be able to pull that one out. A good win for Alabama to be able to go into that hostile environment and pull out a win. And A&M, man, they're sitting at 4-2. They're not bad off. But the question is, how is it going to play out for them going throughout the season? Are they going to be able to maintain and continue to improve on what they're doing? Or are they going to falter like the last 2, 3, 4 seasons he's been there and just underachieve and underperform? I want to see A&M be better because, man, I love the talent they have. They are loaded. I just don't know if it's going to transition to the field for them, especially in the long run. I don't know, man. And I've seen a bunch of predictions of what they think the SEC championship is going to be. Everybody's saying Alabama and Georgia. But Alabama still has to play LSU. And I still think it's got to be one of the biggest matchups of the year. Obviously, LSU's sitting on a conference loss. Alabama's one loss isn't a conference loss, so that is an advantage they do have over them. But nonetheless, I'm very much looking forward to that game as a whole. But the last game we're going to talk about is not a game that I thought I would be talking about going into this week, coming out of this weekend. But, man, if we're going to talk about a game where time management and just overall coaching ability is in question, man, you've got to be talking about this Georgia Tech-Miami game. Miami had the game in the bag. Literally, with that time left on the clock, all you're doing is taking a knee. That's all you have to do. You're just trying to run the clock out and get out. There's no need to be running offensive plays. There's no reason that you should be doing that late in the game, putting yourself at risk. Like, it's not a guarantee to get out with the win. That's why we have these options to be able to run the clock out. Oh, man, Miami's coach, man, I don't know what he was thinking, but from my research and just going back and looking, this is a trend that apparently goes back a little ways, and I've seen a lot of Oregon fans from when he was there, man. Cristobal apparently has had this issue for a while with just wanting to keep his foot on the gas instead of being able to just let it sit and marinate and just walk out the win. You want to continue to be aggressive and careless, and you cost your team that win. Now, obviously, he's not the one on the field. He didn't turn the ball over, but there's no reason that you shouldn't be in victory formation at that point. Then you gave the team a chance. Georgia Tech should have won that game. Under no circumstances, they shouldn't have won that game. Miami should be sitting at 5-0 right now. But because of poor clock management, because of terrible coaching decisions late in the game, there's no reason that should be happening. Georgia Tech walked out with a win that I don't think barely anybody would have predicted that to happen. And, man, if you're a Miami fan, you've got to be scratching your head like, what in the hell is going on? Why are we just not running the clock out? That's all you have to do. You've got the win. But you got to slow down. Like, you don't have to be that aggressive. There's no need for that. So, I mean, it will be interesting to see how they shake back going forward. They do have another big game next week. They have to go to North Carolina to play Drake May. And, man, if you got to come to play, you better come to play next week because that is going to be a big game, big matchup, and you better show out because they're undefeated. And I don't think Drake May is looking to take a loss to a Miami team that just lost to Georgia Tech. I'm just saying. But, I mean, that's going to be the end of my recap, man. They had a lot of other good games that I wanted to talk about as well. I mean, Maryland came up short against Ohio State. Man, Kentucky got the brakes beat off of them by Georgia. And they had some other cool matchups as well, man. But, man, week 6 as a whole, really good games, really good week. And, like I said, really crazy finishes for sure. But, man, that's going to be my week 6 recap, man. Thank you guys for all the support. Like I said before, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification so you don't miss a beat. We've got NFL content up to date. I've got college up to date. We've got what if series. We've got top 5s. We got top 10s. We're going to be starting our open discussion here pretty soon once our schedules can line up to be able to record at the same time. But, man, we're just trying to put in hard work. We're just trying to make good content. We thank you guys for all the support. Thank you to Off the Ball Network, and thank you to Cam for all the hard work you put in. This is Brandon with the Football Frame of Mind podcast, signing off.